Hey guys, welcome back to the channel McNallie Money, home of all things stock, investment, and personal finance related. Now for today's video, we're going to be providing an update specifically talking about earnings on one of my favorite companies we cover on the channel. The ticker symbol on this one, KNR, Kontrol Technologies. Massive earnings, you guys. They beat on every single metric, so super excited to talk about this. Before we get into today's video, please take a second, hit the like button, you guys. It's a huge help to myself and the channel. If you're not already subscribed, McNallie Money, feel free to do so. Let me know in the comment section below if you're holding shares of Kontrol Technologies, what you thought about their earnings and the recent news that we're going to talk about, and what you think about their future growth prospects moving forward. Now with that being said, let's get into today's video. Okay guys, so that's right. Today's video we're going to be providing an update on Kontrol Technologies. Ticker symbol on this one, KNR, on the NEO exchange here in Canada. This has quickly become one of the more popular stocks or companies that we've talked about on the channel. This is one I'm personally invested in, so for full disclosure, you guys, I do hold shares of KNR. I'm in at an average cost of $2.16. It isn't a huge position in my portfolio, unfortunately. It's been doing really well. They just came out with massive earnings here, so Q3 earnings we're going to discuss and dissect in this video, along with two other pieces of news that came out in the last couple of weeks that I think are going to be major catalysts for Kontrol Tech moving forward. So super excited to get into it today, you guys. As always, I wanted to start out with the chart here so you can see over the last 6 months, Kontrol has really been on quite a tear. It crossed past the dollar Canadian mark just at the end of July there. So up until July 30th here of this year, Kontrol was actually trading under that $1 milestone, you guys. Closed out July 30th at 92 cents, and since then they really haven't looked back. The share price ran all the way up to $3 to close out on September 13th. It did pull back a little bit here, you guys, actually flirting with that $2 mark again at the start of November. And then since then, they've had a very strong couple of weeks, and they're getting close again to that $3 mark on close on November 15th, so Monday's close. They were up 12 cents on the day, so about 4.6% Canadian. And they actually closed out the session at $2.70. So I'm doing very well on this position. I believe I'm up about 25%. But again, I wish I held more shares, you guys, and that's always the case with any of the stocks you pick that really run like this. Hindsight is 20/20, and you always wish you loaded the boat. Now, in terms of market cap here, they've got about 49 million shares outstanding, or common shares. The one thing that I will call out here, you guys, is about 25% of the float is actually held by insiders. So the float on this stock is very low, and that gives them a market cap, as you can see here on Yahoo Finance, right around that 128, 129, 130 million Canadian. So truly a penny stock here, you guys. Very small market cap, and you're going to see in relation to revenue why I think Kontrol Technologies is still such a great buy, even at these levels. Now, we've covered Kontrol Technologies a number of times on the channel, so I would highly recommend you go back and take a look at some of those more deep dive style videos. But I did want to give a brief summary of what this company is about. So really it's about smart buildings, you guys, whether that's retrofitting old buildings or helping to design new buildings. They deliver autonomous buildings that are smart, clean, and sustainable. Ultimately, what that does for building owners and managers is cut down on waste and energy costs. And how they actually do that is through a combination of software, services, and actual projects or installs. So they've got multiple different revenue streams within their business model. And this revenue is recurring, you guys, especially as it relates to the software and some of the maintenance or ongoing contracts that they've got with these property managers or building owners. And those 2 points are really big for me as an investor in any company. Do they have multiple revenue streams or diversified revenue streams? And is that revenue one time, or is it going to be recurring? So both of those boxes are checked off here with Kontrol. And again, another reason I think this is such a great buy at these current levels. So the big news for today's video, this came out Monday, November 15th, so yesterday after close, and Kontrol Technologies actually announced record Q3 revenue for 2021. It was kind of funny, I've had a number of subscribers actually asking for an update on KNR in other video comment sections, so I knew that this one would have a lot of appetite here, you guys. But honestly, the numbers speak for themselves. So if you scroll down here, revenue is up 614% year over year, you guys. That's absolutely mind-blowing. Record revenue for the quarter, $21.5 million, drives the most profitable quarter in the company's entire history, with net income in excess of $2 million. Now, as a result of this, they've actually raised their 2021 outlook or guidance due to this strong execution, and they wanted to highlight the demand from a lot of these blue chip customers, which we've talked about in some of our previous videos. And those include TELUS, Manulife, Suncor, Beyond Meat, some of the major companies here in Canada and North America that already harness or utilize Kontrol Technology solutions. So as we continue to scroll through the earnings report here, third quarter year-to-date highlights, again, record revenue here, you guys, record net income, $2.1 million, record adjusted EBITDA of $2.8 million, which was up 224% year over year. Cash flow from operations was $4.8 million in terms of 2021 year-to-date. So they're generating cash, they're building that cash position. They've strengthened their balance sheet, so they've actually used some of that cash to pay down over $4 million of debt year to date. They completed the acquisition of Global, which is Global HVAC and Automation, the largest acquisition in Kontrol Technologies history. So they're aggressively expanding on the M&A side of things as well. And as a result of all of this positive news, they've actually raised their guidance for the rest of the year to between 43 and 46 million, which was up from $38 million estimate prior. And adjusted EBITDA is now expected to come in at 6 to 7 million, which was previously forecasted or estimated to be in the range of about 3.7 million. So massive upward revision there for both revenue and EBITDA for Kontrol Technologies. So a blockbuster quarter across the board here, you guys. Every single metric exceeding expectations. Paul Ghezzi, who's the CEO of Kontrol, goes on to say this milestone quarter was highlighted by the multiple records we set across several key metrics, driven by the momentum we delivered across our business. Our ability to integrate Global into the Kontrol platform while maintaining financial discipline allowed us to not only achieve our highest ever revenue quarter, but most importantly, we also delivered on the highest net income quarter in our company history. We have clearly demonstrated the ability to add significant growth with profitability. And this is really a combination of strong, ongoing organic growth supported by heightened demand from our existing blue chip customer base and government policy, which really underscores the importance and the necessity of enhanced intelligence within these buildings or creating these smart buildings that are more energy efficient and cut down on energy related waste. And I think that's important to pause on here, you guys. A number of major catalysts for this entire industry. Obviously, the COVID-19 pandemic has made people or individuals a lot more aware of air quality, building health, air circulation, purification, things like that. And in addition to that, governments around the world are now mandating this stuff, not only from the pandemic or airborne pathogen lens, but also from the energy efficiency and net zero emission lens. So by 2050, you guys, they're really targeting net zero emissions from all of these various buildings across North America. And Kontrol Technologies is in the epicenter of that, delivering on both of these industry tailwinds. Now, I wanted to take another second on the corporate outlook here. So $43 to $46 million, again, up from their previous estimate for this fiscal year of $38 million, and only $13 million of revenue was generated last year. So fantastic year over year growth, you guys. And again, keep in mind, this is a market cap of about $130 million. So they're trading essentially 3 times sales or 3 times revenue with all of this growth that's going on within the company, both organically through merger and acquisition activity and with their BioCloud platform that we're going to talk about later in today's presentation. So I personally think this is a steal of a deal and a great way to play an industry that I see growing and not slowing down for decades to come. Now, the other piece of news that I thought was interesting, and the reason I thought this was interesting is because I remember a specific slide from their investor presentation that I'm going to pull up next in the video. But this article came out on November 10th, and it mentions Kontrol Technology actually surpassing 400 customer buildings. And I remember they talked about these certain milestones within each of these given years. And that's exactly why I wanted to highlight this or bring this into today's presentation. So the article itself goes on to talk about 400 customer buildings, which now puts Kontrol Technologies on pace to double its market share in 2022. So again, talking about the growth of this company. But what's interesting to me is if we jump over to the investor presentation, you can see this slide that talks about their growth path to $100 million in annualized revenue, 25% annual organic growth, plus strategic acquisitions like we just saw and talked about in that earnings report. But what's interesting here, you guys, in 2021, they were expecting to have 300 buildings, which they now have 400 buildings, and revenue, again, in the neighborhood of about $30, $35, $38 million if you add up the three different revenue streams, which again are project, service, and service as a software. So on both metrics, you guys, whether it's actual building count or combined revenue, Kontrol Technologies is really exceeding that 2021 goal, and they're setting themselves up very nicely to move into 2022 here, where they have a target of 600 buildings and revenue exceeding about $75 million. So well on their way to that goal in 2024 of 1,200 buildings and $100 million plus in revenue. And I'm super excited to see how the leadership team continues to execute on this plan. I personally think these estimates are conservative, you guys, and I would expect the potential to hit $100 million of revenue within 2023 if the team continues to execute. And again, this is a $130 million market cap company here, you guys. Now, if all of that wasn't good enough news in relation to Kontrol Technologies, I wanted to talk about the wild card here, you guys. I don't think we mentioned this in our last video, but BioCloud is really the ace up the sleeve here for Kontrol Technology. Essentially what this is, you guys, is a device that can effectively detect airborne pathogens in large spaces or large groups of people using lasers or using laser-based detection. It's got an air sampling pump. You can see it's got a proprietary detection chamber and reagent. It uses laser-based detection, air circulation, and real-time monitoring and communication to effectively identify airborne pathogens, again, most notably COVID-19. So they've already received $2.5 million in grants. They've got 4 patents filed, 3 in the US, 1 in Canada. Production has already been initiated, and they've actually got multiple distribution partners in place, and they're starting to actually install this stuff in real applications or real settings around the world. And you can see the user interface here, very user-friendly, you guys. Immediately tells building owners, building operators, if the air quality is safe, not safe, and real-time COVID-19 alerts. So as you can imagine, this is going to be a multi-billion-dollar industry, and we just received some super exciting news in relation to BioCloud, which we're going to talk about next in the video. So here's the article here, actually announcing Kontrol's BioCloud solution has delivered multiple successful real-time COVID-19 detections. This again came out on Monday, November 15th, so this was before open. Earnings was after close, and it's now been confirmed by third-party laboratory tests that BioCloud has actually successfully detected positive cases of COVID-19 in real-world settings. So again, the CEO, Paul Ghezzi, you guys, completing multiple successful positive detections represents another significant milestone achieved for BioCloud. In addition, we were able to collect a significant amount of real-time data that will provide additional value to our partners, customers, and other applicable relevant organizations. The in-field validation, so again, practical use case validation here, you guys, provides critical information on the operation of BioCloud in the presence of the SARS-CoV-19 virus and further advances BioCloud as a leading ambient air monitoring technology. So if and when this gets the green light, you guys, and this is fully approved, I think this could be a massive catalyst, honestly a game changer for Kontrol Technology. This could virtually be installed or applied in any public setting, any building, concert, arena, school, college, university, anywhere people congregate or gather together. And in terms of the impact on revenue and market cap to Kontrol Technology, it really would be exponential, you guys. So to close things out here, obviously I'm very bullish on Kontrol Tech. I expect today's session to be huge for them on the backs of this big BioCloud news and massive blockbuster earnings. So for all of those reasons we just talked about, you guys, I definitely think Kontrol Technologies is a buy. But if you're looking for a couple more reasons, I thought this was a very fitting way to end out the video. So they've got a runway to $100 million in annualized revenue. They're creating a leadership position in this high growth market that is ripe for consolidation. They've got recurring revenue streams through both their service and software platform. They've got a history of delivering real-time energy management, emissions, air quality monitoring, and now this BioCloud solution. Again, insider ownership, 25% here, you guys. Very low float, so 49 million common shares. And the wild card, or the last point here, this Kontrol BioCloud COVID-19 airborne pathogen virus technical solution. So for those reasons, you guys, I think this one definitely belongs on your watch list. As mentioned, I am invested in Kontrol Technology, average share price of $2.16. I likely am going to be averaging up today and building that position because I'm super excited about the numbers that are coming out here. I think this is a great long-term play or bet on this industry. That's it for today's video, you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Feel free to leave a comment in the section below. Let me know what you thought about Kontrol's earnings, if you're currently holding shares, how you think they stack up to some of the others in this space. If you're not already subscribed, McNallie Money, feel free to do so. And if you're still watching at this point in the video, hopefully you found some value, so make sure you hit the like button on your way out, you guys. It would be a huge personal favor to me. That's all for now. Thanks again for watching and have a great rest of your day.